Yeah, there we are. Welcome back, my friends, to a new episode number 42 of the live day trading session here. We have the CPI today, the big day of the week. Are you guys ready for some action today? You guys saw what happened yesterday. Look at where we are today. We're going to talk about that in a second here. Look at Goldie coming back down after taking out the highs, now back down all the way where we came from. What a beautiful day it is. Good to see you all. Welcome back to the stream here. Looking forward to host you guys today, as always. We have around 20 minutes left for the news. So let me do proper introductions first. Yes, you guys already know it. Looking forward to host you guys today here. Let me see where we have it is in the chat right now. Let's see what we have. Diamond, my man, well, good to see you. The Crypto Noob, good to see you. Victoria Simolenko, good to see you. Bartek Trader, my friend, is back. Good to see you again. Khan Jalil, Trade Stock by Hari. How you doing, my friend? Yeah, Chris Invest, good to see you again. We had a fantastic session today with the 50 people. We gave them the journal today, so they're going to start tracking all their trades now. They're ready for the next step. That's how we rock and roll, okay? Looking forward, my friends. Let's get to work, and let's have some fun today. Let's see what we can do, how we can analyze the market together, and hope you guys learn something, and let's just have a good time. And most importantly, keep each other accountable, all right? Let's do it. Yes, sir. Welcome back. Okay. Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Welcome back. We have to talk about the CPI right now. We have news in around, 15 minutes. And we'll be in a very important session, actually, to understand what is happening right now. Who was on the stream yesterday? Who was on the stream yesterday? Let me know in the chat, please, if you were there. It's very important that if you say I was there, then say I was there, because then you understand the context of what I'm going to explain right now at this current moment, okay? Literally, that zone that we talked about yesterday, okay, I hope you guys are ready. Look at that zone that I actually marked out yesterday right there. Remember, when we were in that trade, price came back, we closed the trade, price took out the highs after that, by the way. It took out the highs and it came back down. And it came back down towards the levels where we are right now. We are there right now at this current moment. Do you guys remember that? This is where we are. Okay, we have arrived at that zone here. The only problem that we're facing right now is the following. And that is the fact that gold is looking very good. But we have the CPI in around 15 minutes. You know what I mean? That is the other side to it, okay? Now, yesterday we talked about the order flow as well in the 4-hour time frame. We said that, you know what? We have all these trapped sellers sitting right below that, remember? And we have all these buyers during Asia session that took control over the situation. They are now in control, and clearly what they're doing here is very obvious. They are protecting their position right there, okay? They are protecting their position. And this is what's happening right now. You can see clearly that we're finding that support right around there. You see that? We're holding at support right at that area where buyers took control above where the sellers from yesterday are trapped. Okay, so this is major support, guys. I just want to let you guys know this is major support that we are at currently. Okay, so we're going to give this a little bit of a nuance as of where we are right now, but you can see how we are reacting from an area where a lot of buyers took control during the Asia session. We broke above that. You could in essence call it the consolidation of Asia, the manipulation of London, because this is the London session. And look at all that selling here, pure manipulation for the squeeze, the expansion in the New York session, right? We call that the CME right there, the CME right there, okay? Whoa. That is it as what we're seeing. Now we're having a retest of that, and clearly we can see the buyers are trying to hold on to their position right there, okay? That's a very important moment right now for the dollar, and most importantly for gold, sorry, that we're seeing this actually coming off of revision. The only problem is that we have the CPI in around 15 minutes, and you guys know already when there is news coming, like the CPI, with an extremely higher forecast than the previous month, 3.7%, an increase in inflation, of course, because of the oil price and all that stuff that's going on. It is important to, of course, wait for the news to come out, because you never have any idea what could happen. Is it better than the forecast? Is it worse than the forecast? It will probably be a major catalyst, regardless, for gold. But this is something that we have to take in account right now, yeah? Gold looks great, but CPI is coming very, very soon, in around 13 minutes from now, to be exact, okay? So let's zoom out a little bit before we move further. In the meantime, if you guys could smash with the like button, that would be highly appreciated. We're doing this on a day-to-day basis for you guys here, making sure that you guys are fully updated right there on the streams every single day, okay? Friday, I'm gonna go to Singapore, but anyways, we're gonna be here for now until Thursday, all right? The higher time frame on gold here is clear that we indeed took out what? We took out these highs here. We actually swept these highs. Eventually, we did sweep out the Friday highs and the Thursday highs, okay? Breaking that resistance that we got held onto so strong. We actually were shorting it yesterday, right? Remember? Took a short, failed, took another short, succeeded. Kind of broke even on the day. Nothing crazy, but you get the point. Okay, we did took out that zone. We created a higher high, and then we pulled back, okay? So we're now at that support where that initial move, where we were in fair value, that move before the expansion, actually had that catalyst, right? Breaking out higher, pulling back right now, holding that support here, which is also aligning with a 4-hour demand zone right here on gold, okay? This is the 4-hour demand zone that we can see right there on gold as well here, okay? Now, at the same time, we like to use the volume profile, and if you're new to this channel, you know, you can learn a lot about the volume profile when you look at the market. It's very interesting. I highly recommend to learn about the volume profile as well. So if you want to learn more about it, you can actually download my book for free, the LTA Concepts Training Warm-Up. And you can go to the volume analysis section and learn about the volume profile and how we mark it out here. But let's just do it a quick. We don't have much time, so let's do it quickly today. We take the volume profile from the previous day, right there, from the left to the right, okay? Let's actually mark this out right now, right here. And what are we currently seeing? If we look at yesterday's range, we're looking for a couple things. We're looking for key levels, right? The very low, the very high, the point of control. But we're also looking at something else. And that is right there, the low volume node. Do you guys remember? Let me know in the chat if you guys remember this. Right there, the low volume node. I sent you an email about this as well here, in case you want to learn more about it. But clearly, you can actually see it right there, okay? So if we mark this out and we go all the way to the right, look at where we are right now. We are reacting from what we call a low volume node, an area of inefficiency in yesterday, okay? So we're filling that. It's kind of that real imbalance. We're pushing into that and we're holding that as support as right now. Okay, super important. If you want to see the settings right here, look at the settings. You can actually see this. You can actually mark it out as 128 row size and 70 value area volume. Okay, but look at that. We mark out a low volume area inside of yesterday's range, and that actually held support perfectly. Okay, that's the reaction that we're seeing here. Now let's also look at the dollar real quick. And let's quickly go to the dollar because we need to understand where the dollar is at. Look at the dollar right now at this current moment. The dollar is at higher time frame resistance. We came up eventually. We mentioned and talked about that higher time frame support that we had, right? That daily demand zone. We tapped into that zone right there and we got respected. Price shoot up today, but we are back at resistance. We couldn't break that resistance. And here we are right now again. Look at the dollar right here. Okay. We are now back at resistance again. And we're reacting from that resistance as of right now. Okay. So the dollar is at resistance. Gold is at that low volume node. And we just talked about gold being in that higher time frame zone where buyers took control, where sellers got trapped, acting as support right here. So sells right now, in my opinion, are off the table. Okay. CPI could ruin everything. CPI could just give us something and gold can just smack down. Okay. I'm not saying it will not. But what I'm saying from a statistical standpoint right now, according to all the confluences that we have, shorting gold here in that support is, in my opinion, a bit tricky, okay? Similar to longing gold in that resistance yesterday at the top, what we talked about, right? Very similar, okay? So the dollar is in that resistance here. Now let's go to the euro. Okay, the euro is, of course, in that support. The euro has been absolutely holding up quite well. Look at the euro here. It bounced very well. Every time on the trend, we're kind of bouncing, we're reacting from an upsloping trend on the 8-hour time frame. And we are also in a higher high, right? Higher low situation right now in the month, okay? Now, if you ask me, okay, but why is this important for gold? Why do I need to look at the euro? Well, let me tell you why. Because this is what we call the correlation coefficient, okay? And the way it works is you use this tool right there. You click on indicators, you go to correlation, coefficient, you type that in right there. And then you go to the euro USD, but because we're on the euro USD, we look at gold, okay? We type in gold right there. We click on apply and it gives us a number and it says 0.89, okay? That means that ever since this moment in April 1st, okay, we have been predominantly positively correlated with gold. Very strongly correlated actually with gold, okay? So that means that above a zero, we're very positively correlated. Below zero, we're very negatively correlated. So the fact that we're very positively correlated and the euro is in that upsloping trend and it's at that major support, okay, only gives gold the privilege to push up potentially higher, right? This is all just statistics right here, putting it all together, signing up all the confluences from the order flow to the higher time frame, supply and demand, multiple assets at the same time, to understand where we are. What is the higher probability? Are we going to bounce or are we going to react right now? What is like the logical potential scenario for my buys, my daily buys, my session buys? Then I know what to look for on the lower time frame with the volume profile. I hope that makes sense here, okay? Now, oil is looking pretty strong today, but also oil is in 8-hour resistance very, very soon here. Let's look at oil right there. We will find that resistance very, very soon. If you mark out a level, you can see how important this level actually is. It's sitting at the 102, okay? The 102 right here in oil is also an area of resistance as well here. So everything is favor of gold. But like I said before, the CPI can just mess it up completely, okay? So we really want to wait for what happens with the news here today. Yesterday was a bit wild, a bit crazy. I think today it's important to be more patient with the news, the CPI. It's in around 6 minutes from now, right? We wait and anticipate on the news. And then we go from there because there is no other choice, I think. I don't think I have another choice by simply waiting right now. I could try to get in too long and hope for the best. But then where I'm going to put my stop loss, right? What if my stop loss gets triggered and price still moves in my favor? Or what if the news comes out horribly for gold and I get stopped out regardless of the potential amazing setup we have in front of us right now, right? So it doesn't really make much sense now to enter at this current moment. At the same time, you always risk missing out on a setup when the news comes out and it goes in your favor and it just keeps going. That's another layer. So yeah, we have to kind of find a balance right there. The only logical conclusion is simply to wait for the news, wait for the reaction, and then see if we can control price by understanding what buyers and sellers are doing right here on the lower time frame, right? The 15 minute, the 1 hour, etc. You know, you can have the perfect strategy and the perfect setups, but if the CPI comes out differently and it has an impact on gold, then it all doesn't matter. It doesn't make any sense right here. But if price is quote unquote bullish, I'm bullish with extra conviction. Okay? I hope that makes sense right there. So I'm gonna go all in on gold right now, long. No, we need to wait. We need to wait. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. There you go. There you go. That's what we're waiting for right now. Let's see if this level can hold here. Keep in mind, as long as we're staying above this red zone, okay, I'm going to mark it out one more time. This red box, you could better say, okay, where these sellers got trapped yesterday. Super important level, by the way. Super important level. As long as we're staying above that after the news and we're holding it, yeah, I might be looking for some longs again because, hey, it's a major area. It's a major area that we have to pay attention to, that we have to look out for, okay? So I'm going to put gold on one side. I'm going to put the dollar right here, all right? Let me quickly mark out that resistance on the dollar. Then we have that also marked right there, that 8-hour supply zone. A drop-based drop, okay? A drop-based drop. Large expansion on the drop. There we go. And let's see what happens. All right, my friends, let's see what happens right now on gold here. Let's also mark out the 4-hour demand. And then we have everything set and we wait for price to react and see what price does here, okay? That low volume note was amazing, by the way, for today. If you wanted to scalp gold, then this was, of course, an amazing entry. There were 2 amazing entries right now. You could see how price reacted from it, and it actually came up around 200 pips. And it came up around 200 pips twice, okay? But this is exactly what happened right there. You could have got some quick scalps and get out before the news, and then pay attention to the rest. Wait for the news, and then see if you can get into a new position after the news, pretty much, okay? All right, settings for the volume nodes, please. Well, this is pretty much the previous daily. And you could see where a significant amount of less volume was traded right there, right? So that's kind of the area that we mark out. Right there, okay? That's what we're looking at. So yeah, these were some trades you could look at right there. Before the news, of course. This was something that you could definitely look at. Dollar was already struggling a little bit as well. And of course, you are in that major zone that we talked about right here. Okay. So yeah, we are operating in some major support right now, as of what we speak. Okay. That zone from yesterday, pretty much, that we talked about. Okay. Can you talk about the footprint a bit more? Yes. After this news, we're going to go back into the footprint. We'll go deeper into this. But in essence, to sum it up quickly, because we have around 2 minutes left, okay? To quickly sum it up, all right? What we can talk about here is the following, is the fact that right here, all that red means there were more people pressing market sell than market buy. That means that a lot of people were selling in this candle, more than people were buying in this candle, market, okay? But the candle closed green. That's a bit strange, right? Well, actually, not really, because it shows you there were more passive buyers there. There were more people pressing limit execution buy, so buy limit, getting filled, right? Absorbing all these sellers, and then price squeezed to the upside right there after that. So all these sellers were trapped in their position, and usually it causes what we call, or it gives you the trapped trader playbook, or that turns into support, okay? Because it actually is a catalyst when it pulls back into that. Sellers close their position, right? In order to sell, you need to buy. Creates more buying volume. Smart money sees that the enter a buy creates more buying volume. It's a double catalyst. That's why these things act as support. We call it an imbalance. Okay, an imbalance of sellers in this case right there. We'll go deeper into it later on during the session, man, and we'll go over everything that you need to know right here. Okay, but anyways, let's see what the news does. We have around 10 seconds left. Are you guys ready for some potential action here? Will everything be ruined or will it just go? Let's see what happens. 3.8% for the dollar. That's actually better for the dollar right there. Okay, that's 3.8% in a nutshell. That's still higher than the expectation. Okay, that is higher than the expectation. And it's already higher than the previous month right there. Okay, so what is happening right now? Not much yet. Gold is dropping a little bit. Wow, you see? News can come out bad for gold, good for the dollar, and everything changes. Yeah. That's why it was good to close the trade before the news, or not execute before the news, and rely on the hopium, because you never know what the CPI does here. Anyways, 3.8% is seriously higher. That actually means that inflation is going up, okay? More than the expectation. It's actually going up with 0.5% more. Now, the question is, what will the Federal Reserve do when they see this news? Knowing the inflation going up right here at this current moment. That's going to be interesting, okay? That is going to be interesting, all right? Does it mean I'm only going to look for shorts? I don't know. Not really. Why? We're still in these major zones. It's hard to short into that. Tough. So if price comes down, yeah, we'll see what price does, right? Dollar is not there yet. Dollar is not in that higher time frame resistance yet. It's trying to break out now, okay? Or it's trying to break out. It hasn't even touched it, sorry. It's trying to touch it. Okay, we have to just simply wait for the dollar to reach that zone, see how it reacts. Wait for gold to reach that zone, see how it reacts. And see if buyers are still present in the market right now, okay? And if they're succeeding. So for example, if you see a lot of sellers stepping in, but they're not succeeding, they're failing to bring price lower, to break structure, or to break support. Yeah, I mean, that's an absorption, CPI or not. It's still a potential setup. So let's see, especially in the higher time frame zone. The question is, keep in mind, the dollar has been rallying already, and there's also another there, all day long, okay? The dollar has been rallying all day long. It's at the bottom already yesterday. So, you know, we have been kind of pushing up right now. The question is this already priced in or not, right? Is this information already priced in? Was the expectation that it would come out higher? Yes or no, right? That's another question to ask yourself. In my opinion, conclusion is, if gold breaks the lows here, okay, then we'll have to drop down much more, right? The next level, I think, is somewhere around the 4,600 or lower, the 4,590 actually. But there's nowhere near a confirmation for that, because we have major zone right in front of us still that we cannot neglect right now, okay? I don't get it. Your gold price is different because you're trading spot. I'm trading futures. The only difference, though, is that yeah, the prices look different, but the candles look the same. So I think the difference right now between spot and futures is, well, 47.03, 46.95, 96. So it's like 7-point difference. So remember that for the stream, okay? It's around a 7-point difference on average, roughly speaking. All right? Oh, that makes sense. Okay, we are, by the way, hovering around the Sunday open, by the way, on gold. This is the opening price of the week as well. Okay. Dollar does not really care. Right now, the news is not necessarily, even though it's good for the dollar, it's not necessarily a good reaction from the dollar at the moment. Okay. Yeah, this is still major support for the gold here, right? We cannot neglect this zone. We cannot neglect this zone, okay? Why? Because in this area right here, during the London session, right there, we had all these trapped sellers here. Okay? We had all these trapped sellers sitting right in this area, in between 4685 4665. Okay, so 4685, 4665. Pretty much exactly in this zone. I'm gonna remove this. We have real support for gold here. We're gonna react from this. Trust me, we're gonna at least react from it. I'm not saying that we're actually gonna create a strong bounce, but we're gonna react from this. Like, has to be at least a reaction from it. Okay. So if you're thinking about shorting right now, keep in mind we're shorting we're very close to like major selling from yesterday. Okay. So keep that in mind if you're thinking about shorting and you look at the news and you think, oh, that's good for the dollar. It's true. The news is actually fundamentally good for the dollar and not necessarily good for gold. But the technicals and the order flow is telling us something slightly different for now. So we have to pay attention to this, okay? Look at the euro. The euro is still holding up very well in this higher time frame zone. If the euro holds up here, it's going to put more downside pressure on gold, on the dollar, which is actually good for gold, okay, if you think about it. All right, this is why we care so much about that CPI, because if the dollar shoots up, it's going to have a negative impact on gold. So the euro right now is actually holding up really strong against the dollar. And I think that will give us a bit of context for gold too. Okay? So I'm still waiting to be really honest with you, as of what we're seeing now, even though this news came out, and we know how the news came out, what it came out as, I'm still thinking about longing here. Yeah. I'm still thinking about longing. Just need to wait for the right confirmation, but that's pretty much the conclusion of what I'm looking at right now. Yeah, that major zone right there, that low volume node is so important, by the way. If you can get into that level one more time, the 92-ish, then I think I will give it a try. Or the 85. The 85. If we can get down there, I will be looking at something like a potential trade. Look at the dollar already reacting here. Yeah, so it's a 7-point difference right now between gold spot and gold futures. So gold spot is 7 points lower than gold futures, right? So if I say 4687, it's actually 4680, right? Something like that. Yeah, this will always be a thing when trading futures, of course, but it's easy for the order flow actually to see the exact levels. The same levels, that's why. But yeah, I'm impressed how we're still holding that zone right here on the 1 hour time frame. We're still holding that support. I'm very impressed actually. It's very strong. Has not broken since the London lows, the London session. We haven't closed below it. All right. All right, let's mark it out right there. We have this area. And this, of course, is the buying zone as well, right? Potential buying zone as well. We're still operating in buying zones right now. That's it. So we have to stick to what we have right now. Definitely not looking for sells here, personally. Can we get it one more time back? What do you think of the Deep DOM platform? I think it's similar to the bookmap, if I'm correct, right? I don't know much about it. I think it's similar to the bookmap. Maybe there are slight variations to it. I don't know exactly. But yeah, I mean, it's just a more interactive way of seeing the order flow right there. But I personally love the footprint chart. I really like the footprint. I know exactly what kind of levels I need to look out for. We talked about these exact levels right now, by the way, yesterday already, right? This was already pretty much announced yesterday when we looked at these levels right there. And nothing really has changed since yesterday's analysis, to be honest. We're looking at the exact same levels. The only thing that we had was the news. Bradley says, appreciate the emails. Thank you, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can I use your same strategy to trade gold USD? Yes, of course. It's the same thing, right? Gold spot, gold futures, same structure, same candles. Different price, around 7-point difference right now. Okay, the dollar is struggling, right? Dollar is definitely struggling. The euro is struggling too. Oil is also coming down a little bit right now. Oil is slowing down too. Let's look at the valuation as well. We are relatively undervalued, by the way, against the dollar. Okay, we're relatively undervalued against the dollar right now as well. And actually what we're seeing is a divergence, because if you look at it, this was a lower low and this was a higher high. You see that? Higher high, lower low. Right into the low volume node right there. So it's actually a very nice zone. This is called the valuation index. I created this tool. It measures gold against the dollar. We just talked about the correlation of how important it is. Well, this indicator actually shows that relative strength in a oscillator, right? Something similar to the RSI, but then, yeah, better. Yeah, I do hope that we come back down one more time, though. Or that we pull back or something like that. Or that we pull back. Or that we simply break out, which is also fine. And then pull back. Whatever the case may be here. But preferably, I would love to see something like this, right? And then the move. That's the ideal scenario, of course. Lorenzo, how many trades do you take per day? A couple trades per day. Depends how many sessions I trade. Let's say sometimes trade the Asia session too. Because I live in Asia, right? So I don't know. How many trades did we take yesterday on stream? 2? And I was in New York. So yeah, I don't know. But anyways, the hourly looks really strong right now, man. The hourly candle looks really, really good, actually. If we close above this, then it's pretty bullish, to be honest. You know what I mean? This is already that low volume node. We talked about the levels. Like, I think we're going to be correct about our analysis right now. Like, from today, I think we're going to be correct. Because it just shows me that right now, everything is pretty much aligning. In terms of the analysis, in terms of the resistance on the dollar, support on the euro, right? Support on the euro right here. Resistance on the dollar right here. Look at the dollar already trying to flip bearish. Oil, right? Already struggling in the supply. And then gold, of course, reactive on this low volume node here. But yeah, I still would love to see a little bit of a pullback to get the best entry if possible, right? But yeah, if we break higher, then we could easily just break out of a range and pull back. How do you stay so calm and composed while trading? I mean, keep in mind, I've been doing this for a while. I've been streaming for a while too. I actually started in 2022. Think about that. That is almost 4 years ago, my friends. Yeah. 4 years already. Can you believe that? Anyways, this is episode 42. We're absolutely within our new format, our best format so far. Everything is going exactly as planned here. I brought up some students as well. We have around 15 students right now. Very, very small selective group that we work with every month. They're now working 50 people with us right now. Today they got and received their first journal. We actually closed block 1, which means they went through this whole process of finding the A+ setup. The top and top and top setup right there. Now they have their journal. And now they have to track everything they do. And I'm going to watch everything they do to make sure they follow the process accordingly. So yeah. Progress. We're pushing higher right now. If this hourly candle closes really strong and we pull back. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look bad at all. You know, the dollar looks really weak. I wish we could like calm down one more time. That would be the ideal. But if this is a breakout, then yeah, then you will probably see something like this. The hourly candle looks like it wants to do that right here. Look at this hourly candle closure. Hey bro, big fan from India. Is it better to trade prop firms or flip a $100 account to 1K? It's all irrelevant until you have a system that works, that you know works, that you have been testing throughout. An actual trading system that you can follow with a couple of principles that you look at. Anything besides that, it's all irrelevant. Do you want to flip a $100 to a $1,000 account? You could. Do you want to become funded and get payouts? You could, because you have the skill set to get there. So it's all irrelevant until you get there. Right, bud? I hope it comes back down, yeah. I really hope so. I really hope this hourly candle comes down because I'm looking to buy. This is always the thing with the news, right? You don't want to execute on the news. We just talked about the reasoning, right? The analysis was perfect, but you cannot really execute right on the news, especially CPI. You understand anything can happen. The amount of times that we were not right, by the way, or that we thought that we were right, and then the CPI came out and it just ruined everything, happened too. But that comes from just previous experience. And now you see gold pushing higher. You see the dollar weakening. It's very tempting to enter, but I think even right now, it's still a bit too chasing. I think if it would enter right now, it will be chasing too much. Okay. So yeah, price needs to retrace a little bit. This higher time frame buying zone or low volume node was perfect. Can we get there one more time? Amazing. Even if we get down a little bit lower, it doesn't even have to be back down there. It could even be the, let me see on the 15-minute. The 4702. The 4702, which is roughly speaking here. Let me mark out that level right there. Oh, right there. Right. Right there. If price can get there, I might give it a go. Okay. Lorenzo, why have you stopped advertising FundedNext accounts? It's in my description, man. You can check it. It is in my description if you want to, if you want a challenge or whatever. Okay. Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of resistance here. We have been rejecting here, by the way, the whole day, the whole London session as well. Right here, we can't seem to break it. You see that? Every time we try, we can't break it. So this is why we don't want to buy here. At least I don't want to buy here. Either price pulls back and it gives me something. But there's no way I'm going to look for shorts here. There's just no chance I can. Yeah, these low volume nodes are a real thing, my friends. They are a real thing. My suggestion, right? If you want to get some simple advice, and I don't like to use the word simple, but it's just the truth, okay? It's just the truth of the matter. What you could do in theory every day is you could mark out the previous day of each day, okay? And look at, if you're a scalper especially, what happens when you reach a low volume node. Okay, look at that. 1, 2, 3. All these little rejections right there. You don't think that's much, but that's like what? 200 pips, 200 pips, 200 pips, 200 pips, right? Until it breaks above it. So if you do this every day, right, and you go back another day, for example, right here. I'm not sure if you can actually see something right there. Right there, low volume node, right there, boom. Look at that. Boom. That is clean, right? There's a lot of potential around this. We call that the low volume node daily strategy. You just look at the previous daily volume. You then mark out the low volume nodes the previous day. And you wait for a reaction in that level. Okay? You wait for a reaction in that level right there. Obviously, there are more nuances to it, right? Clearly, but like you get the point. Yeah, so clearly right now, exactly what we talked about yesterday, right? We have these two buying zones right here. That's holding, okay? That is holding right now. It's actually holding up really, really well. So we marked out and we talked about this area so many times. Look at that, right? This was exactly like this. Two zones right here that we marked out on the chart right there, okay? Super important to pay attention. Right here. Let me just quickly go over this right now because I understand the context in advance, right? That was our zone from yesterday, by the way, where we got rejected from, we took the short from. This is that zone where we shorted from right now. We managed to get out we get our money back from this trade. Again, from that same zone. This is major support. This will be major support. We have these two major zones where we could easily bounce from and continue to go higher. It could be. It's usually an interesting scenario where buyers step in during Asia and then sellers step in during London. The sellers are getting squeezed. Buyers are now in profit. And then they're going to protect their position. The sellers are going to close their positions. It causes buying pressure and the buyers are in control. They want to protect their position. And smart money sees this as a scale opportunity to scale into their longs. So for me, it's very important to pay attention to these two zones right here that we marked out on the chart right there. Okay? Well, there you go, man. There you go. Where's this music? There we go. That's the zone. Okay? That is this zone. Right there. Okay? Now look at the order flow right there. We eventually took out these highs right here. Yesterday we took it out. Okay? And we bounced. We are now holding up in that zone where these buyers, right, where we just talked about yesterday, took control. And this is why we're holding up so strong right now. And where we find very strong support at this current moment right there. Okay, so this is very important right now. The fact that we are right now sitting right here, okay, in this area, we know we're going to find support after price did exactly that, right? Came up, it's pulling back, and right now we're holding that support right there. But this is now where the confirmations need to come from. This is where the confirmations need to come from, right? Oh, that makes sense right here. But that's the overall idea here. And you can see that sellers are now trying, but they're failing. A lot of red, the candle's closing green. potentially. Okay, it's very interesting now to pay attention to what's going on here. But in order to get the right confirmation now, according to what we've been talking about, now that the CPI is behind us, we kind of need to see some sort of, hopefully, final pullback, retracement towards the level of support, right? The 4,700 or something like that, for me to be confident with buying here, okay? If there was no CPI, we probably would already be in a long right now. That's pretty much the conclusion, okay? If there was no CPI, we will probably be already in that trade. That doesn't necessarily mean that we cannot wait for another potential move anyways, okay? Have you tried the Renko chart before? No. I've tried the Heikenashis. What's happening on the right? My girl's on the right. I'm just looking at my girl right there. She's trading with my other account right now. She's trading gold. She's trying to as well right there, right now, right? So, a bit of back and forth communication around my other account, you know what I mean? Okay, we're flipping here. So let that pullback come. Let that pullback come, please. Give me something. This is why I hate chasing the market. I really hate it. Sometimes I still do, also on the stream. I still do it sometimes. But imagine a binder looking for the breakout. That would have been nasty. That would have been nasty. Yeah. Why don't you trade gold? I do trade gold. I do trade Xau USD as well. Actually. However, with the order flow and everything, it's easy on the streams to do it like this, and as well, it's easier to explain it. Okay, that hourly closure is going to be important though. That's going to give us at least some context of where we are. We know that we are reacting from a buying zone. We know that even below that zone, we have a major support zone again. But this is all support. It's all support. We just need to get in there one more time and see if we can get a confirmation or something. The dollar is not looking strong at the moment. That's clear. It's probably oil that's dropping. Look at the oil. Oil is also not looking strong. And the euro is looking better. Of course. Yeah. The only way I would get into a long is right now if we would do something like this again. Maybe here. Okay, the 4,700. And then look for the reaction. That's the only shot I have right now, right? I just have to stick to the rules when it comes down to news trading. Because it just doesn't make any sense to trade the news at that moment, at that exact time. But right now, I would say that it's pretty clear what we're looking for. It's kind of looking like a reaction. Yeah, would I be disappointed if this would continue to go up? I mean, yeah, because I did my full analysis and everything is just aligning right now. I feel like in sync right now, okay? I feel in sync with what I'm looking for. But that doesn't necessarily mean I can get into market entries where I chase the market down right now, where I try to long the 4712 right now, for example. Doesn't make any sense. So gold needs to give me some sort of rejection. And then I need to see some sort of absorption for it to say, okay, now we can rock and roll. If we break out though, with more volume, right? There's always an if, there's always another side. If we do break out with more volume and we pull back, yeah, that's a different story, right? That is a different story, right? Then we could easily look for the retest continuation. What software are you using for the footprint? We use the Xau charts. It's called Xau charts. It is very nice. It's very good. But again, it's all about, it doesn't really matter what platform you use, as long as you can get the understanding of the data. Who cares, right? You can find your settings. You can, figure it out if you want to learn about it. You can use different platforms. Doesn't really matter. I like this one personally. Yeah, it's very interesting to see that rejection right now. Consistently, actually. Keep in mind, we haven't closed above the 15. Ever since the London Open, I guess. We haven't been able to do it yet. Fast, my man. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Good to see you. How are you, bro? How are you doing? Okay. Talita says the same level we are in right now is a low volume node. Open the volume profile from the start of yesterday till now and see. Okay, let's do this then. Let's do this. Let's do this. Yeah, exactly. This is why we have that resistance there. Exactly. Exactly, my friend. You can actually mark it out if you want to. It's exactly that zone. Wow, look at that, man. Thank you. You're right. I wouldn't long here anyways. But yeah, you are correct. Look at that. Look at this beautiful gap. And he's actually correct, because if you look at it right there, clearly it acted as support before. And actually acted as support again. And now it's acting as what? Resistance. So yeah, it's true. It is true. So the conclusion is we're pretty much within these two low volume nodes, one there and one there. And we're getting rejected there and we're holding that support there. So we need to make a decision. We need to either break out of it or we need to get to that support and look for a long at support. Right? But yeah, that's so true. That is, yeah, correct. Well spotted, my friend. This is what I mean. This is exactly what I mean. You guys are on point today. I like it. I like it. Yes. I like it. Compression time. Compression time. Very nice. Very good. Okay. Well, we're coming back, so that's exactly what we want, right? You get for what you ask, or you get for what you ask, I would say. Let's push down. Today's news result, USD strong, so gold bearish, but gold will be bearish for only for some time. It is true. It is true. The news came out better for the dollar. But again, we are still above major zones right there. It's very tough to be bearish now. Unless it's a 100 pip. Okay, it's still 200 pips. Sometimes I don't even realize how big these candle moves actually are. It's still 200 pips right there. It's actually ridiculous if you think about it. But anyways, it is... definitely more interesting, in my opinion, to look for that bounce, that long bounce. Yo, what's up, Kazim? Ali, what's up, my friend? Bro, I just want to start trading. I'm new to this. There's a lot of stuff I don't know. Can you help me with something? You can download my book. It's all the patterns that you can see in the chart, on the market, in the charts. You can actually use this book to look at all these different patterns that you see. And you can actually start practicing with it, okay? So you start marking out our tool that we use. It's also explained how you use this tool. And it gives you a bit of a better understanding of how the market works right there. Look at all these chapters. 42 chapters right there in a nutshell, okay? All the information, 300 pages. It's a lot. But you need to focus on chapter 1, farm analysis. That could be a good start for you, my friend. So it's free. And for the rest, I would say join the live streams on a daily basis. I mean, we take trades on the stream. And you see the whole, the journey. You see the journey. Free education, right? I mean, I still make mistakes though, don't get me wrong. But you get the idea. We still make mistakes. We all make mistakes still. It's unavoidable to be perfect all the time, by the way. Even though I'm trying to, but like, sometimes I let myself go as well. You saw that, for example, a couple weeks ago. Chasing down the market with some weird setup, right? But that's also part of the plan. It's incalculated, I would say. Okay, well anyways, we're pulling back. So that's what we wanted. We wanted to pull back, now we're pulling back. So to where can we go is the question. We might find some support here already. But the ideal would be, I would still say it's the same level. 4703, right? This is where we are right now. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would say, yeah, if we can get to the 93 already, I think I would consider buying again. I think I would just buy again at support. Yeah. Did you notice the big gap on the dollar? Where exactly? Because right now we are in higher time frame support. Resistance already. We're very close to it. Or we are in it right now. At a higher time frame zone. And that gap below, by the way. Is that the one you're talking about? That opening gap? Or that gap from today? Right here? Yeah, for now I'm thinking to just buy at support again. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, somewhere around 86 on the spot indeed. Like the Sunday open pretty much. The opening price of the week, or 84. 84.6. Something like that. I think something like that depends. We're seeing a little bit of a deviation right now. I think something around 84. I don't know. The 84 would be the ideal because on spot, sorry. On futures it's a bit higher. Okay, it's the 90, the 93. Yeah, if this is gonna be just the range trading today, I will be fine with this. I'll be fine with this. We're taking out the news low, the CPI low in a second. Yeah, the dollar bullish. I mean, yeah. I mean, the euro. I think the euro is holding up really well. I think the euro is doing good, doing decent. So in the long term, I'm not really worried about the dollar too much. Maybe I'm like taking it too easy. But as of right now, I think that the dollar is dollar will have a lot of work to do. Okay. Okay. I think I'm gonna set a buy limit right now. Let me see. Calculate this in right away. Yeah, same old, same old. Yeah, as long as we're pushing up, we're creating higher highs on the RSI, lower lows kind of on the price. I liked it. What is oil doing? Oil is in the resistance now. And we're back at this area right here. Okay. Yeah, I think it's worth... let me set the buy limit right now, somewhere around the 84, and then we'll move it up because maybe I'm seeing something right here. Okay, maybe we squeeze to that level here. So the 85 right here, futures. Maybe I'm seeing something like a wick. That would be insane, by the way, if you can quickly smack through that thing and create a wick. The main reason why is because of this level, by the way, just so you understand the context of it. Like, I'm looking at these sellers now too, right? Not just these buyers. We're holding these buyers right now, but I'm also looking at these trapped sellers right here. This was the candle before that major explosion yesterday, with 45,000 contracts traded right there in this candle alone. That's a lot of contracts in combination. I think the major resistance was 35,000. That was already major resistance. Okay, 35,000 contracts. This was the catalyst for 45,000 contracts. So it's even bigger than the previous resistance. So yeah, and let's see if we can get there to the 85s. And that's the previous daily. No, sorry, that is the point of control, pretty much. Yeah, let's see if we can get there, man. All right, first trade of the day. Let's see. Of the session, sorry. Can we get filled? Yeah, the hourly candle has closed already. So we have around, this is a fresh new hourly candle with a lot more volume right now. So let's see. There we go. Dollar is back in the higher time of resistance shorty. Oil. Yeah, similar vibes. Dollar is pushing. It's a pretty strong reaction from the dollar, right? That's true. But yeah, there is a reason why I didn't want to put it at 93. Kind of didn't want to do that. All right, we're seeing a lot of sellers here. A lot of sellers right now. Are they going to succeed here? Or are we going to be against those sellers? Are we going to contra trade this? That is the idea. To counter trade the sellers here. Let's see if it works. Gold not massively undervalued, I agree, but we are seeing the divergence here. See that? So it's gaining momentum. It's gaining that momentum here. I would be, it would be very unfortunate if this is the flip though, and it would like now flip bullish and it would go up. That would be a 2-point difference. That would be a 2-point difference. Oh, wow. Look at that absorption of sellers right now at this current moment. Look at that. Someone executed 100 contracts there in a single trade. And boom, absorbed in our low volume node, our potential, what? Buying zone. We just wanted to get down to that selling zone there underneath it. If I snipe this, if I sniped that, give it a bit of time. The dollar is still strong. Yeah, if this flips. Whew. Just be patient, guys. Come on. Come on. Look at the dollar. Look at the dollar. You know what? Let me get some tea. I'll be back in 1 minute and I'm filled, okay? I'm gonna be filled. I'm gonna be in this trade. All right? Trust me. We're gonna be in this trade. I'm gonna be filled. I'll be back. The buy limit was so... Look at that. Trapped sellers right there. 100 contracts. We're going to close above that. If we're going to close above that, then it will give us a new zone. Right here. Okay. And that means that on the pullback, I could in theory move the limit order to 94. Which is actually right here. That's plan B. But man, that would have been a miss. Wow. Don't tell me my analysis is off. Don't tell me that. Like, I'm in sync, I would say. But, you know what I mean? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. The buying zone. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that is 2 points. But anyways, if we close above that, then it's I moved the limit to 94. Okay, it's still fine. We have 6 minutes for this candle closure. 6 minutes for that closure. All right. The dollar is in that 8-hour supply zone right now. We are now officially there. It's actually the first time we actually tap into this zone, by the way. The actual first time. All right. And look at that. Look at the dollar reacting from a higher time frame resistance. It is reacting. And this is going to give gold that extra motivation. That extra motivation to push up here. Right there. Okay? Look at that. So I should have not entered at 46.85. I should have entered at 46.9. For the 46.87. Yeah. But anyways, we have a confirmation trade if we close above this. It depends where we close though. Because it's still 5 minutes for this candle closure. So we're not gonna rush it now. We have one more closure to wait for at least. That will make a decision. If you close strongly above it, I will move up my limit. If we can't afford more, I'll keep my limit where it is. Yeah, yesterday was wild. Yesterday was very, very interesting. I agree with you. But, you know, we talked about this exact range already beforehand. Now it's all about finding the trigger entries. Because the range was already clear. We talked about this already so long. Most of the work was already done before the stream, right? Most of the work was already done when we looked at this area where buyers got stuck in their trades. London, aggressively entering shorts. A lot of sellers entering the market aggressively. Major squeeze to the upside. Tapped into that major resistance. We got a little scalp from that range, from the top there. We got our money back. Price eventually broke out, pulled back, is now reacting from this exact zone right here. And this is what we're trying to trade. This is where we're looking for the entry confirmation. So all the hard work has been done. It's just about entries right now, right? New executions, entry confirmations, triggers, etc. Yeah, so the hard work, the analysis is clear. Is there a download link? You can download my free book. Yes, it's completely there. I wrote it. I'm the author of this book, the LT Counts Trading Warm-Up. I written it. Took me a year to write a book. I don't think there are many people that are taking their time off to write a book. Actual book with all the content, right? All the standing of smart money, volume analysis, the cycles, the proven data, the real trade examples, the results, etc., etc., etc. Of course, combine that with us live streaming for the past 4 years. But now we're here. And now we're having the best time of our lives. Episode number 42 of this format has been so far the best and the most enjoyable. The most enjoyable, I must say, format with you guys. I've been really enjoying going live with you guys every day for the past 42 episodes, almost every day. And it has been an absolute blast. I have to say this. I have to say this. We have the best chat, by the way. Yeah, the book's in the description, man. You only have to fill in your email. And that's it. You get some emails from me. If you don't want my emails, you can unsubscribe after that. I don't really mind. But in these emails, I send value. I send information around the book. Chapters, paragraphs, quotes, lessons, you name it. Okay, 50 seconds. It seems we're going to close above the... you never know. Everything can happen in the last minute. But it seems we're going to close above the 94. Quite strong. The ideal would be closing above the 4705. That would actually cause that break. That structural break here. But yeah, it's probably worth a try. I mean, why not? Dollar is reacting. I want to give it a try. Unfortunately, we did not snipe the bottom this time. I was off by around 2 points. So that is unfortunate, but yeah. We have that closure now. And we have the New York Stock Exchange open now, right, as well. So we might see some more volume coming in. Yeah, I'm going to give it a try for the 94. That's it. My idea is that we break out. If you don't break out, we'll pull back to the 16 again, to that low volume node. Yesterday's gap. And that is still a decent move, I would say. Right? It's still a 200 pip move. But my stops are also going to be around that. But I hopefully, I want to see breakout, right? That's the goal, that we actually break out today. But I can't guarantee a breakout, of course. But my stops will be below the aggressive sellers at 64, 63. Not below the lows, not below the previous daily lows. Well, yeah, let's see. Why do you seem so behind? I think you think that it's behind because you look at the futures price and you think it's the spot price. That's the difference. Around 7 points difference. Spot price is 7 points lower than the futures price. Bart says you took the COT indicator from Larry Williams and named it by yourself. He's trying to get me on something. Mr. Bart is trying to get me on something. Who is that right there, my friend? Who is this guy? You have to give credit where credit is due, right? Yeah, you have to. That's how it works. That's why my book is free, because it like imagine me selling it. It's not working. We're not getting the book. Then you need to find it in a different email. You need to look in your spam folder. I don't know. It should be there. It should be there. Okay, finally, man. All right. Took some time. Like I said, I prefer to get into the 95. Would be so sad to get now to the 95. But hey, we have that 15-minute closure above the sellers right there. Aggressive selling right there. I want to at least try to get in here. Because if this flips bullish, then we're in a really good position. You know what I mean? We are in a good position for a breakout, right? If not the best position, I would say. But this would have been the best position, the 78. And now we tried to enter from the 94, which is the confirmation. But let's see. This closure was actually the confirmation for that trade right there. You see how it's getting supported right now. So we want to actually hold above this and preferably close above the 4701, 4702. My stops will go actually below the 4-hour zone. And my target is actually, I hope we're going to see a breakout. If we don't see a breakout, that will be unfortunate. But yeah. It is around a $1,000 risk. Need to wait for that confirmation. I prefer the breakout, but let's see what happens, man. For that, the dollar needs to really break down, slow down. Even though we're in higher time for resistance right now, we need to slow down, right? Oil as well. Need to slow down as well. But there is definite absorption on gold right now. What is the target? I mean, I want to see at least the point of control to be hit here. But that means that we have to break out there, right? That's the thing, though. So yeah. Can I explain the trade one more time? It's pretty much the whole analysis pretty much built around yesterday, what we talked about. Okay, that was pretty much yesterday's trade. What we were looking for is this exact level. I think it was something like this, right? The second trade that we took it from that resistance, which is right there. And we managed to come down and we looked for longs on the pullback. I waited for that long setup on the pullback right here. And this is where we are right now. We're actually all the way back down towards the area where buyers took control and where sellers got stuck yesterday. And this is why we usually tend to see a reaction from that level. And this is kind of what we're looking for yesterday. And this is where we are right now. So yeah, we took that trade yesterday. Now we wait for price to pull back, did pull back. And now we see that we are reacting from that low volume node. So we want to actually hold above here. Maybe maximum, in my opinion, we could come down a bit lower. The 85 is still possible, right? But like, I don't want to get it lower than like the 75 or something like that. But yeah, you get the point. If this breaks now, then we're in a good spot. We're in a good position. All right. Okay. If the dollar now slows down, then it's gonna catapult gold right here. Yeah, look at that reaction into that zone. You see that? That's exactly that, by the way. You have that 15-minute candle, and then you have that retest of these sellers right there getting stuck. That's that confirmation trade that we set. That's why the 94 was like a new entry. You know what I mean? Because we pull back into these sellers. 100 contracts executed right there. Pull back into this. Now we're flipping. So you could, in theory, have a very tight stop loss right now, or immediately go break even and wait for the follow through. Wait for the squeeze, I could better say. All right, and you can always look for the new re-entry later on if you want to. All right, depends where we close this. This is going to help tremendously. Yeah, look at that 5-minute absorption. This is actually a really strong absorption. I don't see many sellers entering here. Yeah, this is actually an area where you could already really secure yourself, or even minimize your risk so much by putting your stops back below that 15-minute candle right now. Like really minimize your risk already tremendously. Like to make an absolute joke here, 10 points, right? But yeah. This is pretty textbook right now, what we're seeing here. I wonder why it's squeezing so hard. Oil is the main reason. Okay, there we go. Oil is the main reason why. But oil is in that rejection right now. In that resistance. And it seems that gold is reacting quite aggressively to oil's resistance right now. At the moment. Okay, so we have to pay attention to oil at this current moment right now as well here. Look at that. Okay. Yeah, this is where you can secure yourself. Boom. Let's see if my girlfriend entered the same trade. Yes. My girlfriend, ladies and gentlemen, she entered the same trade. Haha. Good job. 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 Ah, I'm proud of her. You know what I mean? Yeah. Huh. That's amazing. I don't like how oil is reacting here. I don't like how oil is reacting from the point of control. Okay, I'm gonna do this again. I'm gonna close the trade. I don't like how oil is reacting here. I'm gonna set a new order immediately. I think this was a quick, the accuracy has been really high lately. 150 pip move. But oil is reacting quite aggressively from that from the point of control right now. We're still below. We still haven't broken out yet. This is the CME. If this is the CME, there are still ways to enter. A lot of entries here now. Entry possibilities now. If price comes back again, I might set a new limit order immediately. Okay. But that was a quick one, right? A quick sniper with a confirmation entry. A quick sniper with a confirmation entry right there. Okay. I love these low volume nodes. Really love them. Really like them. Really, really like them. Okay. Yeah, we're scalping right now, yeah. If oil comes back down and we break down, then second opportunities. The volume profile is amazing, yes, absolutely. That low volume node is no joke here. You saw that here. Look at that resistance today. It's crazy, right? It is crazy. And then, of course, here. Low volume node. It's actually holding up really well. Yeah, it's also the value area low, by the way. Don't forget that. It's the value area low as well. Okay. Are you live every day? Yes, sir. Right now, I am live every single day here, Monday to Friday. Okay. What's up, Ashwin? Thank you for the sub, my friend. How are you doing, my bro? How are you doing? Good to see you, my man. You said you're skipping Friday. Yes, Friday I'm in Singapore. Okay. Friday I'm in Singapore, my man. So I will fly to Singapore. So I will not be able to come on the stream Friday. Okay. We talked about it already a couple times. I'll make sure you guys are aware. So only 4 streams this week. Only 4 streams this week. Okay. But if you're completely new, then I highly recommend you, Eugene, you too, my friend, welcome, to download my book for free. To learn about the volume profile, okay? Learn about it. Learn about it, read through it, because it's going to help you with the understanding of what I do on the stream, okay? It's going to help you, all right? Guaranteed. If you learn about the volume profile, you know how to mark out the volume profile, why I talk about the volume profile. It's going to help you tremendously when I take trades, that you understand, okay, that's why. Okay? Super important. If you want to learn about that right here, link is in the description. It's completely free of charge. It's actually a hard copy format too. That's coming. That's coming. Right there. Looks super nice. Look at that. It's a big fat book with the key. Okay? But anyways, you don't have that. You don't need that. You can also download the ebook right there, right? Easy. I saw a quick scalp here, a quick scalp opportunity right now. If price breaks out, there are multiple opportunities here for continuation plays, re-entries, one more pullback. There are multiple. If this breaks out, there are multiple scenarios for continuation trades. By the way, did you take profits? All right, perfect. Okay. What's happening? Lil Burr. Lil Burr. Can we come down? We could. Yeah, we could. We're holding above the point of control. Okay. We are holding above the point of control here. It doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad. We could break out, but in these ranges where it's very choppy, okay? There's one lesson that I've learned, and that is to not be greedy. In these ranges, we're not greedy, okay? If we are breaking out and we're pulling back and we're in a trade and it's going higher and it re-breaks structure, we're gonna be greedy as we can, as greedy as we can. But in a range where price is still getting rejected on both sides of the still, okay? And we're seeing that we are on the other side of the market, in the energy sector, holding up a bit. And we're not gonna be greedy, okay? We're not gonna be greedy. We do not enter in the middle of the range, we only enter in the bottom, which is the low volume node. Okay? So you have the best possible entry. The best possible entry was actually our limit order right there, but we missed out on it. So I had to be creative. I had to wait for the 15-minute closure, get these buyers, sellers trapped, wait for the price to pull back into these trapped sellers, then execute a long right there. That's the trade we took, right? Can you guys understand the entry? Type in a yes in the chat if you do. So you understand the context. Let me know. Because it's actually very important confirmation entry right here. It's pretty textbook, by the way, this model, this execution model. It's pretty textbook. Okay. Yeah, now we're dropping, right? So we closed, I think, at the right moment. Not being greedy was the right decision. Because we would have been coming back down. And then what? And then what? Right? Especially in this range. You never know if it can break through the range or not, right? Look at oil here, holding that level. So it was the right decision to enter here and to exit there. Okay? It was the right move. Yeah. Okay. Yo, Prati, my friend, welcome to the channel. Hope you're doing well. What's going on? What about the 15 people? How are they doing right now? Right now, they are going to the journal. We actually gave them the journal. That means they now have to track every single trade that they take. Okay? They have to look at every single trade to take. They're talking in the group every single day, looking for the setups, marking out everything that we talked about. Right? All the trade examples, by the way, we're putting it all in there. Everything. All the examples. We have the whole session library. We have our roadmap. We have everything marked out here. Okay? And now they are working on the journal. So, yeah, I'm only onboarding around 15 people a month, or a very small group, I would say, a month. It's the best way of working with a smaller group because they're very dedicated. No public right now, Discord or whatever, nothing else besides working with a small group and slowly building it over time, slowly building it. They go through the exact same process for 6 weeks. They learn everything in depth, all the things they need to know to get towards these A+ setups that we talked about all the time on the streams. Okay? And go from there. But yeah, we're back at that level right now, so we need to observe what is going to happen here. Okay, because we're back at that same level. It could be that this level holds again. Okay. But it also depends a little bit on the structure right now, because we're clearly getting rejected from this level right there. So we really have to be patient. Right? But again, The first trade was a W. I think it was a good trade, good entry, good exit. It's very textbook. Tariq says they just took profits from the trade. Really? That's amazing. Yes, I see it right now. Amazing. Hey Lorenzo, I loved your first book and also the second one. Now I want to ask when part 3 is coming. As in the book you also have mentioned about footprints. He's ahead. This guy is ahead of the game. He knows exactly. He can look into the future. I like it. I can't say too much, man. For now, we have part 2. Okay. The question is though, for the people that took this trade and understand why I took the trade. I never encourage people to take my trades, by the way, at all. I always have to say this. Unless you understand it and unless you're fully confident and believe in the same setup. The only thing that I can do is to explain exactly what I think, execute in front of you. And if you agree with me, great, okay? But I'm curious for the people who agree with me. Did you take profits there? At the top, I would say. Did you take profits there? All right. That was a good decision. Perfect. If you guys could help me out though and smash up that like button right here. We have 2,000 people watching. We have 500 likes. You guys can help your brother out, man, for this free education, the book and everything. I'm here for you guys. This Friday is the only day I'm not here. But if you guys like this content and you're enjoying the streams and you want me to continue this series, then smash up that like button, man. I would highly appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, so when I take longs right now in this range, for example, you can see that I'm really trying to take longs in these extremes, right? So every time we get into support, what I'm looking for is some divergence, number one, but secondary, if price can now drop lower. Right? I want to see to price. I don't want to buy higher. I want to buy lower every time we tap into that, actually. Okay? I'm looking to buy lower, or I'm looking to see good reaction lower if I want to execute the trade setup, for example. Now, we entered today at 94. It's still holding it right now, actually. It is still holding it. It's still holding it. Yeah. All right, let's see if gold can get out of the range today. Oil is holding up pretty well now. So gold's gonna face some resistance here. You can see it already. What oil had to do yesterday in that trade from us, if he wanted to hold on to the trade, what oil had to do was push down in the previous 15-minute candle with a bit more conviction, a bit more aggression, okay? This was not enough. This was not enough. And you can see it right now. So we exited at the right moment. Lorenzo, did you chase on this trade? We didn't chase. Actually, we placed our limit order perfectly below. We didn't got triggered there. That would have been the best of the best entry. Okay, we missed out on this. But then we saw a lot of selling in this 15-minute candle right here, okay? Now, how does that work? This candle right here is a 15-minute candle. It's this candle, okay? Now, in that 15-minute candle, there is a lot of people that are trying to sell. They think it's breaking out, right? They think price is breaking out to the downside. So what are they going to press? They are going to press the sell button right there when the candle is there. And then what? The sellers getting absorbed by buyers. People who will press buy limit like myself. Okay, people who have these limit orders like myself, they are getting absorbed by people doing that. Now the candle closes green, but if you look here in this box below, you see that there is more selling than buying in that candle. The candle closes green, creating more buying pressure. So what happened with the next candle? The candle closed and we immediately put a buy limit at 94. Right here. Right here. Why there? Because that's where the sellers got trapped. And if price comes down, what are these sellers going to do? They're going to get out break even. They're going to buy back their position. Because if you sell, you need to buy back your trade. Right? So if you sell, you need to exit with a buy stop. Okay? That creates buying pressure. Smart money sees that. Like myself, right? Like us in the chat, we see that. And we're like, yes, that's a buy limit. So we're going to set the buy limit on top of their buy stop. Creates double catalyst. More pressure to the upside. It's people exiting, losing positions, and new people entering, winning positions. That combination causes that zone to hold. That's our entry, and this is why we exited it when price came up to that last zone where sellers took control. And when oil was not following through, we knew we had to get out. I hope that makes sense. Okay? Everything else in regards to our macro analysis already has been done today. Okay? We talked about it already. Everything that we were looking for pretty much on gold is something that we already talked about. The higher time frame, etc., etc. Right? We talked about our analysis yesterday already. It was just about finding the execution. And now gold is dropping and oil is continuing to go up. And the dollar doesn't seem to stop at the moment either. But we were still able to catch a quick scalping. In the worst case scenario, I would say. Right? And that is not having oil with us, the dollar with us in our favor. Now, but by simply understanding the dynamics of a low volume node, yesterday's volume profile, support level, confirmed support, and a trapped seller environment on the 15-minute time frame. Okay. US just had a speech. It's all news right now. I do completely agree with you. Okay. And this is why we have to be a little bit more cautious right now at the moment here. Okay. I think we really took what we could get here in this session. Yes, to be honest, we could have sold, but it was against my bias. Okay, I had a clear bias right there on the higher time frame. I have a very strict process that we follow. So a quick scalp long was the execution. Okay. And it's completely fine if you know when to exit and when to be greedy and when not to be greedy. Today we learned to not to be greedy, and it actually paid off right there. So if there is a lot of news coming right now, we have something around the Federal Reserve, I believe. We have some news coming, correct? Let me know in the chat. Is that correct? Let me know. Let's see what the chat is saying. Are you still living in Bali? I'm still living in Bali, yes. Of course, look at that. We're still here in Bali. Benjamin, best series ever, Lorenzo, following you since day 10 and always happy to be here every day with you. I learned so much because of you and also your book. Much love from Germany. Thank you, Benjamin, man. That's my second name. Benjamin. Yes, nobody knows that, by the way, but now you do. Okay. Fed nomination vote in 30 minutes. Yeah, exactly. Okay, in that case, guys, I think we're going to cut it right now. We have a 2-hour stream. That's exactly what we would target, right? A 2-hour stream. If there is another trading opportunity, we stay a bit longer. But there's a lot of news right now. And yeah, gold also is kind of breaking that support, right? We're now in our next zone. We could easily see a reaction here, by the way. Okay, but this is going to be news related. This first zone is taken out right now. We are now in our next area. Look at that already. Let's see how it reacts, actually. It's kind of interesting to watch right here. But we have a lot of news right now. So I think for the stream, okay, we took what we had to take right now. And that was a quick scalp, 150 pip. 150 pip scalp. Okay. Anyways, let me help you guys out here with some macro again. Okay, dollar right now is strong, is holding up actually really well. It's trying to break higher. We don't necessarily know if this will break higher. We do have that gap still that they're trying to fill as well here. We have a pretty strong closure above this, so the dollar looks pretty strong right now at the moment. But gold is a major support again. Okay, so anything is possible here. My observation would be, if we think that price will go higher, okay, don't try to now, in my opinion, according to the news and things that we're seeing now, don't try to predict the bottom right now, I think it could be very good to see the range, the manipulation, and then a breakout, and then a retest, and then the continuation. You shift structure, use the volume profile of the range itself, and you actually look for the confirmation entry, and actually allows you to really trade a breakout, okay? To really trade a breakout right here, okay? To actually look for the breakout. We call that the CME play, okay? The CME play, you can find it on page number 47. That's exactly what we're looking for. Then, in that case, right there. So instead of trying to predict the bottom like we actually did before, you can now look for the breakout, the retest, and then the continuation. Right there, okay? All right, my friends, keep a very close eye on gold here. Gold is in a zone where a lot of sellers got trapped. This is still an area of support. It's still not over for gold. As long as gold is holding the zone and it doesn't close a daily candle below the previous daily low, all right? The previous daily low. If we don't close a daily candle below that, we're safe. Gold could still bounce. If we manage to break below that, it's game over though. It's absolutely game over for gold, in my opinion. Why? Because if you do that, the next big area of support is at the 4590, the 4600. We don't want to go there. We do not want to go there. We want to hold this level and we want to move up. Okay? But if we lose this, the 4590, which is actually the 4580 on spot, is the next area of major support here. So that's going to be a tricky one. Okay, there's not much happening in between here. Okay, so hopefully we hold here in this area where trapped sellers got into control or got stuck in their trade, I could better say. On the 4 hour, it's very clear. Let's wait for the breakout, the retest. Then we can enter along with conviction. Okay, not in a range like we had to do today. We're kind of forced to take a trade in the range, which was fine, but it's not the trade that you hold on to if you don't see the right confirmation. All right, my friends? Okay. Perfect. Thank you guys for today. All right, I appreciate you all. I would love to see you again tomorrow at the same time. And if you guys really enjoy this, make sure you download my book so you understand for next stream what we're doing with the volume profile, why we're using it, why we're looking at the low volume nodes, which is actually a zone that we're still in right now. We're still in a low volume node. There's a reason why we got rejected there. There's also a reason why we got rejected there during the London session, okay? But anyways, we'll make sure you guys are updated. All right? Thank you guys. And I appreciate you all. Appreciate you all. Much love. Let's go. Much love, guys. See you later, yeah? Peace. Ciao.